G'day humans, Chris Stead here. I'm currently on AirAsia flight D7223 heading from Sydney to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes!
Dad, I'm hungry.
Okay, I've just checked in with AirAsia and yeah, it went well. The staff are really lovely and yeah, no problems at all getting through there. Packed flight, there's a little bit of a queue, but not more than you'd expect for a packed flight. It's about 2 hours before it launches. I will say it's in gate K, so if you're getting dropped off by an Uber or whatever, it's the furthest end of the terminal. So I got off at A and then had to walk all the way down to K. So that's just something to keep in mind. You might want to go all the way to K. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on this AirAsia flight and the review. I'm in standard economy seat, 10C to be precise, or 10B really. Lucky enough to have no one seat next to me, so it's given me enough space to do this. It's an interesting experience on these kind of like these low cost airlines, because price is your big thing here, right? You're on this plane because this plane's going to give you an A to B at the most affordable price. And I was looking at the price differences between AirAsia and kind of the Emirates and the Qantas and those types of things. Like there was, $1,000 plus difference per person. But the economy is, of course, that it's very basic. The seats are very basic. There's no pillows. There's no blankets. There's no entertainment unit. So the food's not included, the booze is included, all that kind of stuff, right? So you got to know what you're getting into when you choose to catch something like AirAsia. And I think it's definitely an argument to do it. Right? I'd rather spend $1,000 on the ground wherever I'm going than spend it getting there. But I know that's not for everyone. So the negatives, obviously, the seats are pretty basic. They're not too bad. They're kind of like leathery, not uncomfortable. But my seat was broken, so it kind of goes about an inch like that, up and down. But I'll stay with the negatives for the moment. Perhaps the most frustrating thing was that we sat on the tarmac for about an hour, which happened. But they didn't turn the aircon on. And I asked someone and they said, we don't turn the aircon on unless the engine's going. It was so bloody hot, mate. People were really struggling. I was pretty surprised that no one actually fainted or something like that. So that was really weird. I don't know what the go was there, but it's plane specific. This is a 333, the seats 333. It's packed flight too, so it got really hot, despite the fact that it was really cold outside. And the other thing was, after the first round of meals, they took a long time to clean it up. Like, the stuff was sitting around for an hour and a half, I think, before anyone came to clean anything up. But on the pro side of it, the staff have been really good. Just not only lovely, but if you press the button, they actually turn up. Like, half the airlines you do that on now, press the button, nothing happens. So you press the button, they actually come. The prices, even though you don't have nothing's included, the prices are actually quite reasonable. So I think the most expensive thing was 25 Malaysian money. Sorry, should have found out what it's called, but and that worked out to about $7.80 Australian. So that was for a decent sized meal. The meals are really filling and it tastes really good. So the food's actually, I've been really happy with it. I also got an iced pistachio latte, which was freaking fantastic. It was so good. Yeah, the food. I've had a couple of meals, just been testing them out, and yeah, it's all been really, really good. So that's obviously a huge positive as well. The toilets had a fair bit of space in them, which I was happy with, because I'm a huge dude, and you wouldn't believe how many toilets I go into in planes where my shoulders are hitting each side, or I can't even get over the toilet because my head's kind of hitting the roof, so that's good. The ride's been really quite smooth. They've been a little flinchy on seatbelts. A few times they've kind of said, like, the weather's coming into some bad weather, quick, everyone put on their seatbelt, sitting up. But I do wonder, because we just had that massive, that plane that dropped like 1.5 kilometres in a couple of seconds, and everyone got injured and killed. So maybe that's why. It's a fair reason, right? And the other, I think that's important to point out is even at 6'4.5", like on 195 centimetres, I fit in the economy seat, and I don't often fit in economy seats in all of airplanes. It's a tight fit. And when old mate in front of me put his armrest up, that kind of like took away that much space for me, and that was enough for me to not have space, but at least I got in. And yeah, I've got to say, like, I'm recording this now, we're 7 and a bit hours into this 8-hour flight, and I'm feeling pretty okay in a seat that would usually quite compromise me. So definitely hasn't been plain sailing, and you can definitely see the low cost aspects. That's for you to decide whether or not that's a good monetary saving for you. But I've got to say, it's been pretty seamless so far. We got checked, we came on, there's a full flight as well. There's very few spare seats. One next to me, I did very few spare seats. Yet they had everyone on and everything up in the lockers ahead of time. Then something must have happened on the runway and we got delayed. But also they weren't particularly hardcore with the luggage and bringing in. Like, they just, when it was obvious they said something, but for most people they just kind of went, yeah, sweet. And I've had problems with that before with some of the Asian airlines, the low-cost ones, just kind of been really ruthless on the luggage, and it's like it's a big money earned for them. But that wasn't the case early on, so that's another positive as well. So actually, there were a couple of other things I forgot to mention. We're stuck on the tarmac for the best part of an hour, as I said, and there was no explanation as to what was going on. I think that's something that could improve, just a bit of communication there, just to say, hey, sorry, this has happened, this is how long we're going to be here for, that type of thing. I'd like to see that as well. And during that time, they played like the One song, which was one of those kind of like new age mumble rap songs. It's all computer altered voices. Like I know the songs from Triple J, but it's a shocker. I don't know, some people really like it, but it wasn't so much that they played it, it's just that that's all they played for 45 minutes. And also I thought I should offer some tips, right? So if you're thinking about catching this AirAsia flight, what should you do before you go on it? So definitely, obviously, throw some food in your bag. You know, like I've seen people around just breaking out apples, muesli bars, sandwiches, that type of thing. Obviously it's affordable on here, but especially with the kids, just a good idea to just throw in some extra food, because 8 hours, at least at Kuala Lumpur, is a bit of you want to eat at least twice, and probably have a snack in between as well. So it could add up on you. I haven't actually touched the booze. There's no booze in the menu, but I did see someone order a tiger beer, so you can obviously get it. So I don't know how much that is. That's not a tip, that's just a statement. Pillow. So I think that's a good idea, because these aren't so great. And there's nothing supplied. So one of those neck pillows is just something, you know, it's a good idea. Obviously entertainment, bring something, charge your phone up, download some music, or download a couple of movies. Just have some access to some content, especially if you've got the kids with you. That's something I also highly recommend that you do before you catch the AirAsia flight. Now, you might want to bring a blanket or something if you feel like you're the type of person who gets cold on planes, but I'll say the climate on this plane has been perfect ever since they turned the air conditioning on, which took a while. But when they turned it on, from that point onwards, it was really quite good. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the AirAsia Kuala Lumpur, Sydney to Kuala Lumpur flight. This is D7223, and I was sitting in row 10. And yeah, I definitely feel like it has exceeded the value of what it costs to get it in relation to like-minded airlines. Anyway, I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos, which are going to come from the Maldives very soon. And I'll check you later.